Okay, students, so here I'm going to show how to check your individual report. To use your individual report, you need to go here, individual report, select your TIN number and enter your password here in the top. I'm going to hide here to avoid showing any personal information. Here is the result of a team from other group of students, okay? So they are really advanced here in the simulation just to show how this tab looks like and what will be the performance here when you look to this tab, okay? Um, in your case, you're going to have just the headquarters with the name of country and also the year where you started your operation in this market. So for this company, for instance, this group of students, they started in Germany in 2012, so they entered 1 year late in this market here. And the second measurement is the percentage. Basically here we have the users, so the size of the users and the growth. As you can see here, you have the number of users. Now the growth in the last period was 10%, and here we can see the trend of growths over the years. Also, we have here the number of rides. So basically here, each user using it owns this app from this company here. Another measurement that you have is the average ticket per ride, so how much there's the expense in each ride, and also the average revenue per user. Since they are just using owns in this country, this number is basically the same. In other regions, as you can see here in Brazil, users they're using an average 4 times the app in the year, so it means that the average ticket is different from the average revenue per user. This other tab, you have here the number of competitors. For instance, they just have one competitor in Germany, and in areas like in India, they have 4 competitors in the market. These are the measurements here. These KPIs, they are the market penetration of your company, so the percentage of people in the country that are using your app, and then we have the market penetration of the category. As you can see, the numbers usually they are really close, meaning that users they can use more than one app. Usually they have 1, 2, or even more apps that they are using, like the example that we have here in India. Okay. Here we have the market share in terms of heights and also the trend of market share. For you, there is no trend because you just started, so there is no trend yet in this market. But here you'll be able to see that, for instance, this company is basically leading in Brazil with 91% of market share, but in other regions they have something like 30% in average of market share. And worldwide, they have 19, almost 20% of market share of rights and 21% of market share in terms of revenues. In pricing analysis, you can check what is the price of your competitors. So if you have competitors operating in the country, you can check what is the average price that they are charging customers. For instance, in Germany, the company, the Team 1, they are charging a really high price compared to the competitor. Basically, they're charging 20% more. And the unit cost is the same. As you can see, the unit cost, so the amount of money that the driver is receiving for a 5 kilometer ride, it means that they are paying more for the driver in Germany, as you can see here. And now we have here the percentage margin of the company and the competitors. As you can see here, for instance, in Japan, the company is charging 20% of margin, but competitors are charging 30%. You can also see that in this graph that represents the margin that you receive and the costs, that's basically how much you're paying for the driver. And finally, you have here the financial data. So financial data will show you your market revenues and the trend of these revenues. It will show you the gross profit in different regions. So basically the amount of money that you have after paying for the variable and fixed costs, for the variable cost and also for paying for the drivers. For instance, here they are receiving $240 million in China. The total market expenses, as you can see here, the company has the expense of something like $50 million in China and India. And here we have all the other costs, like the fixed costs, the cost for opening a new business that only occur in the first time that you enter the market. You have the regulatory cost, the ones that's really hard to predict, but for this company, for instance, they are paying a lot of money of that in both China and in India. Here we have the EBITDA, the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Basically, the operational profit of the business. Here we have the highest profits for China and India. And finally, we have here taxes that you pay in these different markets. So more taxes in China, Brazil, and India. And here we have any interest you're paying in case you need to ask money in the bank to run your operation over the year. So paying some interest here. If you have money in the bank, if you have cash, your investments will give you 6% of return per year. Okay, so if you let the money invested instead of spending all the money over the year, you can have some return. Here we have the share, for instance. It means that this share, this partner shares, it means that this company is using in all of these regions here. And finally, we have the net income, the final profit of the company. That's basically the final profit, the profit that the company received in the end of the year. So we have here the regions with the profit, and then we have the total profit of the company in this region, in this round, okay? And also we have all the metrics that are specific, like the marketing HOS, marketing high. Basically, these metrics are explained in the course materials. Here, basically, the percentage of revenues that become marketing profit. The marketing high is the marketing profit divided by the marketing budget. Here we have the return on investment, so your profit divided by the all investment you made over the year. And the return on sales is your profit divided by your revenues. So the percentage of your revenues that becomes your profit. And finally, we have here the evolution of the company. As you can see, basically the company starts to catch up in 2016. So indeed, they need to wait a long period before they start facing some interesting profit in the business. So, okay, right now with these two reports, the task is to think about the next round of decisions, and we can talk more about it in the next lecture.